So, from what we know about John James Audubon, he had a fascination with birds from a very early period in his life. His father noted that he was always pointing out details about birds, about their plumage and things. He decided to embark on a project to document all of the birds in America that he could find in one book. And that book became Birds of America. So Audubon is a Haitian-born naturalized citizen of the United States. He was born in 1785. He came to the United States in 1803, and he became a citizen in 1812. Audubon made the book in order, I think, to really contribute something to this country that had adopted him. The Audubon Bird Book is the common name we use to refer to John James Audubon's Birds of America, which is a 4-volume set of books that Audubon produced between 1826 and 1839. There are only 120 known complete copies of this book, which contains 435 plates. It began as a series of watercolor paintings that Audubon did of particular birds. This is, of course, in the era before photography. So in order to make such accurate representations of these birds, Audubon had to go out to shoot the birds and then to pose them and paint them or draw them in his studio. And then he would send the watercolors to Havel. Havel then had the job of taking these watercolor paintings and creating engravings out of them. So Robert Havel is the second engraver and the main engraver for the plates that are in Birds of America. Trinity's copy is quite special because it is Robert Havel, the engraver's personal copy. It's also really special because, according to Audubon experts, this copy preserves the coloration of the birds the best of any of the copies. Because each had to be done by hand, there are going to be little differences between them. And there was an expert, Suzanne Lowe, who studied a large number of these, and she's determined that she thinks the copy here at Trinity is the finest of all of them. Trinity received this book in 1900 as the gift of a Trinity alumnus named Gurdon Russell. He was a member of the class of 1834. He held on to it for a number of years, but in 1900 he gave it to Trinity. So the purpose of displaying this book so publicly is really quite simple. It's an amazingly beautiful book. It's a book that a number of people probably have heard about because of its size, because of its cost. And so it seems wrong to just keep it hidden away and only bring it out when certain researchers want to see it. So it's a really simple purpose, which is to share this quite beautiful object with as many people in the Trinity community and the Hartford community and beyond as possible. So here at Trinity, every Wednesday at 12, we have an event that we call Flipping the Bird, in which we turn the page that's currently on view of Audubon's Birds of America. So the point of it is, one, to have an event that people might be interested in attending and to create a certain kind of suspense around what the next bird is. But it has a preservation purpose as well. And that is that because the page is left open for a week, light affects that page. And so we want each page of the book to be evenly affected by light. So we try to keep a very regular schedule so that each page gets roughly 1 week's worth of light exposure. One of the ways that we keep this book safe from damage is by keeping it in a case where it's protected so nothing can accidentally spill on it. It's also kept in our reading room where the temperature is kept at a constant 68 degrees and a humidity range of the type that paper really likes. Birds of America contains some quite remarkable pages in it. One of the most interesting things about it is that it preserves images of birds that are now extinct. So there are several species in Birds of America. In fact, in the volume that we've just been flipping recently, bird species that no longer exist. The Carolina parrot, the passenger pigeon, the great auk. These are just a few of the species that sadly, because of habitat loss, because of human activity, have been lost to us and yet are preserved then in the pages of the book. I think that it's important to mention that that Audubon produced this amazing, beautiful book, and yet was a very complicated person. He was a slave owner and he defended slavery. He used enslaved people's labor during the production of this book. So I think that it's important that while we celebrate the incredible achievement and the beauty of the book, that we also keep in mind that this was a person who, like many people in America's past, was tied to the most odious institution in our history.